if you were to say what's the biggest change that's affected your business and your clients, what would you say it is?
Well, I don't think there's been one single change. I think it's just been this gradual introduction of more regulation and, you know, obviously industry developments. And I just think that, you know, it's progressive. It will always be that you know, process of constantly raising standards. There's never been one thing. I think it's just been actually being prepared to, you know, move with those changes. And we've had to make big changes to the business. I think certainly RDR was probably the most pivotal one, but it's ongoing. So we've had SMCR recently, and then there'll be more changes next year, the year after. I'm sure there'll be a MiFID 3.
And in terms of MiFID 2, and that's been a massive change in terms of the disclosure of charges once again.
Yep.
How have clients reacted to that?
So I think, well, initially actually, probably the biggest surprise was from us, because the additional costs and expenses, you know, that clients incur. It was amazing that even though we'd been discussing total expense ratios for a number of years, just to actually have those figures in front of us was actually, you know, quite an eye-opening moment. And for clients, I mean, they, you know, some reacted, you know, with quite a great deal of surprise, but then others, you know, it's just been, there's an acceptance that they're the costs that are incurred.
How would you describe the way in which we have handled the MiFID 2 disclosure?
Pretty well, yeah. I think that actually, if I take it back a step, which was that I always felt that your approach with the changes with RDR actually very, very well, because even now you can look at some other platforms and the disclosure isn't as good. I mean, in terms of the disclosure for MiFID 2, then to me it seems perfectly clear, and it's got everything in pounds and pence. I think it's hugely beneficial for clients, and I don't think there's anything that needs to be done in that sense.
Tell me about the other areas in which we've improved your lot as a financial advisor.
Yeah, so I think that the facilitation of fees has definitely been a big step, because it's allowed us to tailor the service we provide and for the clients to pay that and us to report on it efficiently. I think that re-registrations has allowed us to consolidate assets from virtually every single provider, which has again helped clients no end, been really beneficial for them to get a better level of engagement in their assets, because it's all in one place, reporting, valuations, etc. And obviously it's been very beneficial to our business.
If we turn to pensions now, if I may. The Funds Network pension was introduced in 2013. I mean, from our perspective, it's been a roaring success. And how would you characterise it, and how do you think it stacks up relative to some of our key competitors?
Yeah, I mean, I think going back to when it was first introduced, I think it was a real game changer, because you know, we've never really been able to combine pensions and investments on the same platform. Certainly not with the Funds Network. So, you know, there have been other people, but you know, it was a big game changer. And you know, now clients are perfectly comfortable with the fact that they might have, you know, 1, 2, 3 different accounts, completely different tax wrappers, maybe a single investment strategy, maybe it's something completely different. And you know, in terms of just being able to have that single view, it makes a massive difference.
Well, we're introducing some improvements. Auto phase drawdown being one of those.
Yeah.
Out with that, is there anything you think we should be doing to make things better for either you or your clients?
Well, the auto phase drawdown is massive. I do think that that single component will make a big difference in terms of recommending the Funds Network pension to our clients. I think the other one for me is being able to incorporate cash into a portfolio, but outside of a model, so that you can then say, yeah, this client is in this particular model, but exclude the cash.
As well as commissions, we do a lot more now in terms of facilitating your fees, enabling you to rebalance portfolios, and, you know, umpteen other things. But if we look to the future, do you see the pace of change being so fast? And if so, in which direction do you think it will go?
Yeah, I mean, certainly the pace has been, you know, really quite high the last few years, and I think that's been driven by regulatory change more than anything else. What happens over the next 10 years is anyone's guess. I mean, it strikes me that in every aspect of life, change has been huge in the last few years. But clients now have access to all this information 24 hours a day, and you know, there's only a limit to how much they necessarily want to consume. So I'm not entirely sure that there'll be, over the next few years, the same pace of change. But that said, if regulators turn around and say, actually, we want to make a change here or make a change there, then clearly, you know, we have to respond to that. I think the platforms have a hugely significant role. They deal with both the advisor and the client. There's not many financial services businesses that have such a strong presence with both parties. Normally it is a client-facing business or an advisor-facing business. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it all pans out.